Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of Addington News. And wow, do you like our new backdrops? Looking pretty sharp, Darren Williams, as we build towards a Thursday night harness meeting off the back of, well, it was a masterclass, wasn't it, from Blair Orange last week, 9-race program, and he won more than half of them.
Yeah, no, just superb. And we're going to leave you with one of those wins from last week. He currently sits on 35 wins already into the season, the new season, of course, January through to December. But yeah, he reminded us again just how good a driver he is. And the video we're going to leave just demonstrated that all the way up straight.
And no better example of that than the return to, well, a happy hunting ground it's been for one change. Once he found the front, didn't he look a happy horse? And we had Amber Hoffman on SENZ Trots Talk on Sunday prior to the meeting down there at Gore. And, well, she was just buzzing about how he's going. I mean, on that run, Darren, the time he ran, particularly the last half and quarter, where he zipped home in better than 25 seconds or thereabouts, he could be in line for a race like the race because he seems to be going in the right direction.
He's a winner, isn't he? As a young horse, he sometimes had short margins, but he still managed to find the line first. And it was good to see him back in form. He's been going good over the summer period, and I think pleasing for the owners, Trevor Casey and Mike Wolford, to grab that win at headquarters, and he did it pretty comfortably, to be honest.
54.527 it was. I knew there was a 4 in there somewhere, maybe not 24 seconds, but yeah, a really good turn of foot, and he's a horse to follow. We don't have that sort of quality coming to this Thursday night at Addington, but we've got some excellent races and a couple of bets there I reckon might be worth having an investment on.
Yeah, so let's have a look at the program. Race 1 goes at 5:35, the IRT Your Horse Our Passion Pace over 2,600 metres.
Look, I've gone with the one, Let's Go Ringo. They don't often come from as far back as what the Son of Sports rider did for Colin de Philippi. Colin Jurley train wide and last at Rangiora. Not a lot of fun on the grass, not a lot of fun on the grit, to be absolutely honest. So it was hard not to notice that. Comes up with barrier 1. Didn't have much luck last time it was here at Addington. So big chance, Let's Go Ringo. It's a money maker from the strong Robert and Jenna Dunn team. John doing the driving. Trials have been excellent. I think they've always had a bit of an opinion of this horse. So I reckon he's a definite winning chance and maybe even a better bet than Let's Go Ringo on his trial form. So not much between those. Bondi Luster's been racing well for Ivan Court. Last couple of runs, both excellent at Addington. And Better Be Sharp didn't surprise me at all with the first up performance. Jared O'Reilly only has a small team, never brings them to the races, Darren, unless they're ready to perform. And that's exactly what he did on debut. And I can only see him getting better. But around the 1 and 6, could even flip them around the other way in the first.
Doing a good job, isn't he, sports writer? Of course, Colin's got He's a Sport later in the program, and a number of them just turn up and win, and unders a wee bit, obviously not being by the superstar stallions.
Yeah, they are, and they're really good. I'd like to say bread and butter horses. They're very consistent horses. No, he hasn't had a superstar yet, but yeah, you can do worse than have one by him anyway.
Absolutely. Race 2 is the first leg of the early quaddie, the Tyre General Trot over 2,600 metres.
Yeah, Martha Stewart's due another win, isn't she? Racing really well for Jason and Ian Thomas. John Dunn will do the steering. Excellent second last time. That was in behind Winning Bones. I think that's pretty good form for a race like this. So clear top pick for me, Martha Stewart, to get another win. Sonoma Tyrant's probably got more ability than the rest of this field. Doesn't always bring it to race day. If she does, then she's going to be in this for a very long way. That's Entertainment comes up with a nice barrier draw. Jack Harrington's team from Christmas through till now has been racing well, so I'd give it a decent each way chance. And the same can be said for Smudgy. Brent Borkowski trains. This one always puts itself in the right spot, although it wasn't in the right spot at Rangiora last time and was unlucky. So it might be a first 4 player. Tricky race, but I think the winner will come out of Martha Stewart or Sonoma Tyrant.
It's a program where we've got a number of 2,600 metre races, so you're going to get to see them go round a couple of times. A wee bit unusual for us. There's a couple of 1980s, and race 3 is one of the 1,980 metre races, the Bombay Sapphire Mobile Pace for the 2-year-old fillies. And of course, we see Sky Major take its place in the race for the first time, and also there's a Vincent horse in there.
Yeah, that's right. And yeah, Sevy's been doing the business for Vincent up north, and well, he certainly looks a 2-year-old of the future. Tricky sort of a race. I thought Treacherous Gaul would be the one to beat. I just spoke to Regan Todd, and he said he's not totally convinced that she's ready for this. So, although I hope she doesn't come out. If she starts, she's the one to beat. But if she's not in, look for her in that stakes race down south in a couple of weeks, because, gee, the way she's trialled, she's got any amount of ability. So, yeah, I reckon that if she starts, she can win. If she's not, she's one to follow. Alto Alentejo, I think, Alentejo. Yeah, we'll go with that anyway. Has tried up really nicely. This one raced by the Renwicks, trained by his grandson, Darren. They had such a big week at the sales last week, and a few of these horses are starting to step out now. This one by He's Watching. Trial was good. Clouding Over was in front, and she managed to run her down. Whether she starts with barrier 2 or barrier 1, depending on what happens there, she's going to be in the right spot. So she's definitely got a good winning chance. A couple of others with good breeding here. Tara Victory, that's the Tiger Tara family. So there's some depth there. The Anisich family have been involved in that for a wee while. So I'd give her a definite chance. And Clouding Over's trialled up quite nicely too. So a tricky sort of a race. I'll go 2, 5, 3, but obviously if the one's in there, slap that on top of those.
Always exciting to see the babies stepping out for the first time.
Definitely.
And just see what actually happens on race day. Sometimes it's a wee bit different to trial day. Race 4, the third leg of the quaddie at 6:53 is the Advanced Joinery Mobile Pace, another 1980.
Yeah, third leg of that first quaddie, and Mr. Lincoln's going to get a win. It's just a matter of time. Mr. McClintock, or the McClintock family who raced this, they're having some fun. He's yet to deliver. He gets his chance this week. I know it's 1980. I know he's drawn the outside, but he's got the best credential form-wise in the race. So I'm sure Jim Curtin will get him into the race at some stage, and the son of Sir Lincoln will be the one to beat. I didn't mind Get Back, Nearby Betters Delight, Murray Edmonds, Blair Orange combined, White Star Orlando, again, Jason and Ian Thomas and John Dunn. So they could get a decent amount of money in the first few races there on Thursday night. So at 987, not a lot of conviction about this race, Darren. It's not a lot of depth to it. Trouble Supreme's racing well and has a handy barrier draw. That's why I think Mr. Lincoln picks himself. And if he races up to his current form, then he'll take all sorts of beating, even from that barrier.
Race 5 is the last leg of the early quaddie, the Hackley Windows and Doors Mobile Pace, 2600, and goes at 7:18.
Haven't seen one as unlucky as Roll Your Own in a wee while at Addington. Starved of racing room all the way up the straight. Tim Williams just came in, shook his head and said, I just made a blue. I should have stayed where I was. If he did, he probably would have won. It's easy to say afterwards, and it's easy to be critical, but that's the way this horse races best, when he can be saved up and used for one real crack at them. And I could see what Tim was trying to do. And sometimes race pattern just doesn't work out. So, yeah, I think Roll Your Own will win this race. I think he's the best horse in the race, and therefore I've made him the bet of the night. He can win this. Better Fly has a beautiful barrier draw, much better performance from her last time in behind at Winegum a couple of weeks ago. Expect another big run, I would say, from her, certainly from that handy barrier draw as well. Made of Money had no luck at the last meeting here at Addington, or what are we, nearly 2 weeks ago now. So, yeah, I'd give it a decent chance too. John Dunn, Tom Baggery, and what was the other one for? Mighty Reactor is always one that I'm loath to leave off a quaddie ticket, because when this one turns up, he invariably gets some money. But Roll Your Own, standout bet for me, last leg of the first quaddie, the 4.
Race 6 at 7:44 is the Coca-Cola Mobile Pace, over 2,600 metres in the first leg of the late quaddie.
Here's a race, Darren. This is a really good race. You got Darling Me coming out of the Group 1 Breeders last time, was put into the race by Blair Orange and only got beaten 3 lengths. So she's got the best form in the race out of the best races. But gee, there's some form here, isn't there? Above and Beyond, excellent in his last 2 behind Cranbourne, and of course behind the Falcon that was in the Amberley Cup, I think it was. So he's just racing in sublime form. Stablemate, Sounds of Cash, High Flying Harry's in terrific form. Tegan Banner's racing great. Has John Morrison, I think, this week doing the steering there. That Alexander guy needed that run last time. He'll improve for sure. And Chelpatch, Blair will drive him from the inside second row, who follows out. He's a Sport, of course, won about his first 4 races on the bounce. He hasn't won since, but he's just taking a little bit of getting used to this type of grade. And of course, he's my Sports Rider, the horse you mentioned before. Clear top pick, Darling Me, just ahead of Above and Beyond, though. I think it's a pretty good sort of Cornella. But this is the race. This is the Craig Thompson My Sky race of the week. This is the one you record and you go, right, that's going to win there. That's going to win there. In the next month, there'll be 4 or 5 winners out of this race. But yeah, I'll plumb for Darling Me. She's got the wood on most of them.
I thought He's a Sport was really good in the Amberley Cup. He got home late out wide from what was an impossible position. They were going so hard that day, and drawn 1. Hopefully he can bounce back into that winning form, as you say, that's seen him grab his first 4 in a row. Race 7's the second leg of the Lake Quaddie, the Dakins Group Handicap Trot, again 2,600 metres.
Good race. Another very, very good race. Cocky Milk was great last week. And behind the dead heaters, Laurie's Legacy and race rival Phoebe Onyx, who this time goes back a further 15 metres, which has got to make it tough for him. But geez, racing well. Went through his stats since he's been with Bob Butt. I think he's had like 15 starts, 5 wins and 5 placings. And now, Darren, he's gone over 100,000, which if you said Phoebe Onyx is a $100,000 earner after sort of half a dozen starts when John Howe was training him, you would have gone, yeah, I'll probably accept that. So it's been a real revelation for him to go to the beach and he's enjoying his racing. So he's a top 4 chance. It's just a long way back when you've got horses like Cocky Milk, Majestic Action racing well, Miss Alyssa. Excellent last time, albeit probably in an easier grade than this. And you talk about horses getting to 100,000. What about old Bright Glow? Like he's just a cash flow card. Yes, he slides up and down the ratings, but that's credit to Ian Cameron and the way he's placed her. What she won now, 11 races, Darren, 116,000. So you can never count her out. And Sod's Law is sort of fitting into that category too. 95,000 in the bank for Sod's Law. So they're horses that the system is designed for, to keep them racing, and the connections get rewarded. Not every time they line up, but if they place them right, every 4 or 5 starts, they can either win or pick up a decent slice of it. So after saying all of that, all you want's the winner of the race. So we'll go with Cocky Mel. Blair Orange, Ken Barron, so close to winning that race behind the dead heaters last time, and I reckon he's the horse to beat. He really races well at Addington Raceway, so Cocky Mel, clear top pick, Miss Alyssa, Phoebe Onyx, and I'll chuck old Bright Glow in there just because she always deserves respect.
Race number 8 is the Morisco Wines Mobile Pace, 2,600 at 8:34, and gee, there's some talent amongst these.
Yeah, again, another excellent race. You could find a case for basically the entire field, starting with Yorokobi from gate number 1, Regan Todd, Robbie Close, ultra consistent, gets the right draw. It's going to be in the race for a very long time and have the shortest way home. Cosmic Major's an interesting runner. I actually spoke to Blair Orange today and he said Mark had offered him the drive on him, last start placing in the Jewels. Pretty smart sort of 3-year-old. Not the easiest race first up for him, 2,600 metres, but I quite like the way he trialled. He ran him behind Show Me Heaven and Johnny Cox drove him. He never even hooked him out. So he looked after him at that trial. Luella will get off the gate very quickly. Not convinced that 2,600 is ideal for her, but again, she'll probably be in on the markers first. And Smithy's Terror missed last week, but the prior run was excellent behind Cranbourne, been racing great. Smithy's Terror is the top pick. A lot of watch around Cosmic Major though, but I'll just plumb for Smithy's Terror. If the best one turns up, then he can win this.
I know he was certainly disappointed to have to scratch the horse last week, Smithy's Terror, from a race that John thought he was winnable. So, good luck to them bouncing back this week. The last race, race 9, the first Direct Taxis Mobile Pace, 2,600 at 8:59.
Don't want to just keep talking about Sports Rider. Anyone to think we've got a share in him, but himself's by Sports Rider as well. And again, I go back to what I said before. Great bread and butter, 5 starts, only missed a placing once. each time, this time in, has raced super. Went around in the Team Teal race the other day and got beaten by Taurus, but wasn't disgraced at all, was parked out for the entire journey. Comes up with barrier 1, Bob's team's flying. Yeah, clear top pick for mine. Himself, Better Grunter will get off the machine quickly, probably put himself right in the race. They're probably looking like a pretty good sort of a Quinella in the last, the 1 and the 3. Better with Bling is racing well for Jesse Wetterall. Mark Hurrell doing the steering again there. And I'm not going to write off Arden's Delight. I know it's got the outside barrier. I'm sure this horse is better than what the form line would indicate. Ricky May doing the steering for her. She's by Better's Delight. Grant Payne knows how to win races, as we know. So if there's any chink in the armour of any of the others, then she'll be the one to benefit from that. But the way the draw's set up and the way the race is likely to be run, Better Grunter probably in front, himself sitting in the trail. It seems a pretty logical Quinella with himself maybe the better of the two.
Yeah, so look, that's a review of or preview of the program for Thursday night. We race again the following Thursday next week. And then we have a break while Westport and Reefton are on for a week. So a couple of race meetings on Thursday night where the form, I'm sure, will go from meeting to meeting. So have a good look at that. Addington.co.nz for all of the information that you need in and around our race meetings. And yeah, we're looking forward to another good night on Thursday night.
Yep, get involved, 5:35 at the start of it, but we mentioned at the top of the show the performance of Blair Orange last week, 5 wins, and you've picked out a race. I think it might have been his last win, actually, on the night last Friday night.
Yeah, Tegan Banner with a winner. Owners were very excited. Some of the syndicate members, and of course, the man they call Hungry Pierce, very excited. The horse is doing a terrific job. And all the way up the straight, you just watched Blair Orange and his ability to look around and see what's going on around him and get that horse to the line. So no, terrific stuff by them. And we'll leave you with that on the way out, and have a good night Thursday.
Together, 29.2 the third quarter. Luella ran to third. Matt Major now into the clear from Giselle. Tegan Banner leads at a neck on High Flying Harry. Luella back to the inside, 100 to go. It's Tegan Banner a length in front. Luella and High Flying Harry. Matt Major late. Tegan Banner needs the line. Matt Major's coming. There's 5. Blair Orange and Tegan Banner beat home Matt Major and Luella. 4th in was High Flying Harry, then Giselle, Oliver North and Franco Macho.